Previously on J&D on the Road.
We have to be in London in 10 days to get the bike shipped to America. We've arrived in New York and I have received an email to say that the bikes have arrived here too.
America, here we come!
Traffic was quite heavy through New York, but we were expecting as much and didn't really mind until we saw a local taking a faster route. Now, technically, driving in the hard shoulder is illegal in New York, so we absolutely did not follow him and drive in the hard shoulder. We really wanted to ride over the Brooklyn Bridge, but we got lost several times and Garmin had to reroute us. So actually, I don't even know what bridge we went over in the end. Riding through Manhattan was brilliant because I've been here so many times on foot and the traffic always just looked mental to me. There wasn't a hard shoulder and it's also illegal to lane filter in New York. We couldn't have anyway because our panniers made us far too wide. So we just sat in the traffic and watched and just soaked it all up. Can't imagine doing it every day, but as a once-off, it was very cool. We picked up a bit of pace through the Holland Tunnel, and before we knew it, we were in New Jersey.
America has always been associated with cheap petrol, but unfortunately not anymore. We soon realized that the price of fuel has nearly doubled in the past year. We expect to travel in excess of 20,000 kilometers in this trip from New York to Alaska and down to Los Angeles. And at over $5 per gallon, American gallon, our expenses for fuel will be substantially higher, and we will need to cut expenses somewhere else to stay in budget. Expensive.
We quickly settled into the easy pace of our new journey. I found a coffee stop that I loved, and we absolutely did not park in the fire lane. We were amused to find another Dublin and decided to go there for lunch. Funnily enough, just like in Ireland, it was raining there too. To our delight, we'd entered an area with a large Amish community, and they were all out and about in their horse-drawn vehicles. They were fantastic to see. It was like stepping back in time. We saw on the map that there was a town with a funny name, so we had to go visit. A bit childish, but admit it, it made you smile. Another feature of Pennsylvania State, which I absolutely loved, was our covered bridges. There's over 200 of these beautiful historic bridges, and I was obsessed with finding as many as we could and taking pictures and filming them. They have old wooden floors and strong wooden beams, so they were fun to ride in and out of. We found ones that I think were only meant for pedestrians. We were practically like a bicycle, so we went on through. Yeah, that was the sound of the pannier hitting the bollard. But no harm was done, and we kept on going. While we were searching the county for more fabulous covered bridges, we saw the beautiful sight of a horse-drawn buggy coming through a bridge. And that gave us an idea.
We set up the GoPro to video us driving through this bridge.
But instead a group of girls rode through.
And then the GoPro died.
So, the following day, we tried again. And again. And again. Nailed it. Why is it so much fun to ride through bridges? Well, we needed petrol, and they don't. We wanted to camp as much as possible on this trip, and this was our first night to do it. Apart from Davide once pitching the tent in our sitting room, we had done zero preparation. Plus, I kinda hated camping when I was a kid, so we were interested to see how it would go. We pitched the tent, so that was a good start. Dinner done and bed, and then a massive thunderstorm broke out, and it lashed rain all night. We never thought to check the forecast. The following morning, everything dried fast, and we hit the road. So I'd call that a success.
We have definitely never seen a sign like this in Europe. If you're passionate about aircraft like me, especially military aircrafts, the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio is a must. This is the oldest and largest military aviation museum in the world, and there are nearly 400 aircraft on display. From the very first pioneers of flights in the early 1900s Many of the aircraft used in all of the major conflicts around the world, up to the more advanced drones used in today's warfare. I could have spent an entire week here. An exceptional and unforgettable collection. While driving through Richmond, Indiana, I spotted a billboard advertising the local Model T museum. If you haven't guessed it yet, I absolutely love anything that has an engine, and the older the better, so no more needed to be added. We were stopping to check it out. The Ford Model T is the first car to be mass-produced, and an incredible 15 million of these were made from 1908 to 1927. It became an immediate success because it was rugged, easy to drive, and came in a huge number of variations to suit practically everybody. Most of the cars on display were in magnificent condition, and some of them extremely rare. Unfortunately, the only negative part about the museum is that they don't allow you to drive them.
I had seen Casey on the map, and I immediately wanted to visit it. They described themselves as the world's largest small town, and it seemed like a fun place with a good sense of humour. You see, they have the world's largest rocking chair, the world's largest wind chimes, the world's largest... I'm not really sure what that is. An oversized minion, world's largest golf club and mousetrap. Basically anything you can make large and oversized, they had done it. And you'd nearly think Davide had planned it, but the day we were there was a massive vintage car show with cool old American cars and trucks. So it was a really great day.
We had cars, we had planes, so why not go for a spin on a train? This place was special because it was an outdoor museum with many beautifully restored locomotives and carriages to admire, and also fully functional for a true vintage train ride experience.
The old trains were fabulous, and once again it was all community volunteers who kept them going. But nothing beats getting back on our bikes. After another long, hot day, we were camping again. I was really enjoying it, as the campsites were pretty and the facilities were really good. Today we're going to go hiking at the Devil's Lake State Park. Come with us. East Bluff Trail. Let's go. The Devil's Lake State Park was a place I really wanted to visit. This 10,000-acre park contains high quartzite bluffs surrounding a mesmerising blue-green lake, Devil's Lake, from where the park gets its name.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
When glaciers receded thousands of years ago, they left rock deposits, and this park contains some very unique and fabulous ones, such as Balanced Rock and Devil's Doorway, which I really wanted to see.
You want to catch me panting, is it?
Yeah.
The views from the top were spectacular and definitely worth the early start and steep climb.
We're still sneaking a little coffee. And a donut. You want a donut?
I've got this place. It's just incredible. I love it.
Yes, definitely worth the sweat to get here.
Oh yeah.
It's getting hot now.
It really was getting hot. So hot that the car park was melting and the bike's side stand sank into the tarmac. So we did what any other good Irish people would do in the heat.
You're from Colorado?
Cheers.
Cheers.
No, we didn't have sore heads. We were ready for the road again.
And today, for something completely different, we found this on our way, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spam Museum. You have to go see this.
Seriously. Ugh. Spam butterscotch. No.
Whoa. What about Spam Hello Kitty Musabi?
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
Visiting the Spam Museum was more of a fun thing to do, but we discovered that the history of probably the most famous canned meat in the world is actually quite interesting. The museum tells how, from a local production, Spam became an international sensation, fed millions of American soldiers and civilians around the world during the Second World War, and how today can be found in a variety of 13 different flavors, plus an extra 4 flavors released for the Hawaiian market. Fancy a can of hickory smoke or a Hawaiian rainbow flavor? Thank you guys! Thank you!
Thank you. Thanks. That was really good fun.
That was very strange.
I loved it.
One of the strangest museums I've ever been to. It's cool. After we leave Pennsylvania on our journey into the Midwest, we drive for several days through many states that are part of the so-called Corn Belt. Driving through this area is far from exciting because the roads are mainly straight and mainly flat. However, it's in this super fertile part of the United States that a huge quantity of crops are grown and harvested. Millions of acres of land where millions of tons of corn, soybeans and wheat are produced to feed millions of American families and also exported. Maybe boring to drive through, but an extremely productive and important part of the American economy. If you ever watched the Little House in the Prairie, and I surely did, this is where all it started. Walnut Grove, Minnesota. Woohoo! First up, the Laura Ingalls Wilder Museum. As a little boy growing up in the countryside in Italy, I watched the little house on the prairie for years. Every time I hear the iconic music theme, I have immediate flashbacks to my childhood. So much so that visiting the real Walnut Grove have been on my wish list for decades. And to actually get here and having a chance to visit personally the location that features in the books and in the TV series was like a journey back in time. Then, time for coffee in Nelly's. Ta-da! Coffee time.
Yeah.
As we've found in so many towns across America, community spirit is really strong. The people of Walnut Grove host the Wilder pageant every year, which is a pageant based on the life and books of Laura Ingalls Wilder. It's an open-air theatre, so it's only held for a few weeks every summer, with spectators sitting out on the side of the hill. Friends told us the pageant site was well worth a visit, so we headed to check it out and had the good fortune to meet Bill.
Good morning!
Good morning!
How are you?
I'm good, I'm Bill. Well, let me show you around if you want to walk around a little bit.
Bill was brilliant. He spent ages showing us around the set and telling us all about the pageant.
So this is where we do the show. We're digging holes right now to fix something that broke, of course. And so there'll be chairs here, but frankly, I think most people put a blanket out and all of that. So yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So we got our lighting up here, and so we got about 100 lights, and that means you can see. And we have a little prairie fire we do. That's kind of fun. Bring your own hot dogs.
You get your gas cylinder and make some fire?
Yeah. And this is our fake dugout. I don't think there's any animals in here at the moment. Hello, anything? No.
No bears.
Well, no, it's woodchucks. Woodchucks are little ones like this that like to burrow. So these sets move on tracks to come in and out.
Yeah, cool. I didn't realize there were tracks.
Unfortunately, we were just a few weeks too early to see the pageant, so we'll just have to come back.
Final stop is the site outside of town where we visit the original Ingalls dugout house on the banks of Plum Creek. Across the river, or creek. What's the difference between a creek and a river?
I don't know. We never did find that out. There's a reason we now build with bricks and concrete, and the poor dugout house hadn't withstood the test of time. The roof had long ago fallen in, and we had to imagine what it was like and what it was like to live there. People were smaller as well. I wonder how high it had to be.
Yeah, that's the way more likely it used to look like. Yeah, a door, maybe a little window.
Covered in grass.
Covered in grass.
That's brilliant. And
Like,
people lived there.
Like hobbits.
Visiting the creek and seeing the fields of long prairie grass was fabulous and incredibly nostalgic. But Alaska wasn't getting any closer, so it was time to hit the road. You ready to go?
Are we gonna stop for coffee soon?
Of course we are. I know, we talk about coffee an awful lot. We really love our coffee stops. And you know, we meet the best people on our coffee stops. And meeting people and chatting with locals is what travelling's all about.
Occasionally, we meet very funny things in our journey, and this is definitely one of them. Not sure if all the water is just an exception or this road has been flooded for a long time. Well, one thing for sure, doing 55 miles an hour on this road is not gonna be easy. I'd say we stick to the main road.
It's colder this morning, it's windier.
Yeah, our fleece is on.
Our fleece is on. There was a storm last night, so the temperatures really dropped. It had been like 32 degrees Celsius, so hot driving. And now it's probably 13, 14 degrees Celsius, so a lot cooler. But that'll make for a nice drive. So we're gonna set off. Even though it looks bright and sunny, it was incredibly windy. And with no trees to protect us, we were being hammered by the wind and constantly battling to stay on course. We didn't enjoy the prospect of a whole day of this. So, we stopped for coffee. And just like I said, we got chatting to locals and we made a small detour.
There you go.
So we are in Lemmon, North Dakota, and we were just having coffee and we bumped into a lovely lady and she recommended that actually we come around the corner, that there's this petrified wood museum. And so we did, we followed her advice and look what we found. Oh, the castle.
I like it. I think it's a good shop.
Out here in the middle, said driving through, thought we were in the middle of nowhere and this fabulous place. It's brilliant. I love it. I love meeting locals that tell you really cool things to do in their town. This has been awesome.
Yeah, they made buildings from it. And it's very windy too.
Petrified wood is wood that has been fossilized over millions of years and petrified or turned into rock. This park was built in the 1930s when people were unemployed, and they set about collecting the local petrified wood and built all of this. We loved their creations, and it was a welcome break from riding in the wind. Very good.
Well, as you can hear it's very windy still.
Really windy.
So we changed our plan. We're not driving anymore. We met lovely people here that suggested that a nice place to stay and a lovely place to eat tonight. So we changed our plan. We're going to stay here and save us from driving in days that is getting dangerous. And tomorrow we'll take on the road again.
Sounds good. I think much better plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
One of the best hidden gems that we discovered while visiting Lemmon in South Dakota is the local artist John Lopez. John's art is appreciated worldwide and he has become famous for his metal sculptures. He can take a bunch of rusty iron bars, scrap metal parts from old tractors, cars or machinery and transform them in a life-size horse or buffalo or moose, and the details and the impression of strength and movement that he can create is nearly incredible. You have to check out some of his work to appreciate fully how talented John is. Now, back exploring in this town full of marvel and surprises at the Grand River.
So far, we've been really impressed with Lemmon, South Dakota. And when everyone kept telling us that the museum was worth a visit, that's where we went. Once again, there was a fabulous sculpture by John Lopez. But what we didn't know was that this little town was the origin of Hugh Glass, which Leonardo DiCaprio's movie, The Revenant, was based on. A fascinating true life story that I'm afraid you'll just have to read up yourself.
After a day of unexpected surprises, guess who shows up to drive us to dinner? The local sheriff's office was running a Don't Drink and Drive campaign and wanted fresh faces for their social media. We were only too happy to oblige.
No. It's only $25 for a seatbelt ticket, but
That's actually not bad, but it's not enough. It should be more.
If you're going 1 mile an hour over the speed limit,
Yeah?
it's $97.50. And then this is actually the taser. So that electric one. So there's that. But if I were to pull the trigger, what happens is 2 prongs go out like this, and they'll stick, and then it makes that electrical current go through, and it's
9mm.
We carry Glocks.
Carry clocks, okay.
Yep, we all have Glocks here. So here they provide it so that we all have the same.
I had a great chat with Matt, the deputy sheriff. We could have a beer with dinner. Plus, we got a ride in a real sheriff's car. Very cool.
Yep.
Well, I have to let you out now. Maybe I won't.
I know, I was have to remind people that it is a real cop car, so you have to.
You got to open it from the outside. It's not a joke. It's a real one.
Exactly. So give us a call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have them give us a call or something.
Yeah,
if you guys want to
if Shelly give you a call, yeah, it'll be
Okay.
fantastic.
Of course.
Thank you.
So we're going to hit the road today and see how far we can get.
Big difference in temperature this morning from 35 degrees to about 9, he says. It's gonna be cold.
That's what the waterproofs are for, more for warmth than for rain.
Let's go.
It was still windy, but definitely more manageable, and I was looking forward to getting to the Enchanted Highway. The Enchanted Highway was a 30-mile or 50-kilometre stretch of road with massive sculptures made with scrap metal along the length of it. I guess in an attempt to stop people from dying with boredom in an otherwise uninspiring landscape. Nevertheless, I wanted to go. It's only when you get close to these you realise how big they are. Like everything else in America, the trains were big too. I know it sounds strange, but after driving for weeks on straight roads through flat landscape, it nearly gave us vertigo to drive these windy, hilly roads through the stunning Kildare Mountains. Definitely a welcome change of scenery.
After a great trip from New York, we arrived at the Canadian border.
It's always exciting to approach a border crossing, but I always get slightly nervous too, as they don't have to let you through. As far as I knew, we didn't need a visa or a COVID test for Canada, and we had our bike insurance sorted, so we should be fine.
Stop!
Oh no, what did we do wrong?